Horse riding, one of the most enjoyable and elegant sports of all. With the right equipment, that is. Cavallo, for 20 years now, the quintessence of high-quality equestrian equipment. Cavallo, one of the world's leading suppliers of riding boots. Because Cavallo quality fits. But quality that fits is the result of numerous operations. Riding boots are largely handmade. Even the material is hand-picked. Cavallo boots are made from the finest leather from selected European tanneries. Material that is also subjected to a stringent quality control. The lining leather has been tanned with vegetable substances, so it's particularly eco and skin-friendly. We at Cavallo distinguish between 3 leather qualities: fine, elegant box calf, hard-wearing box leather, and easy-to-care-for Veneto, coated with a wafer-thin film of PU. For custom-made boots, we first use a computer. With the help of CAD, a pattern is created and cut out of cardboard electronically. The master cutter cuts the leather by hand. But for standard sizes, cutting shapes are used. The leather is then stitched. These are just some of 220 separate operations. The soles are made in line with the customer's requirements, using the AGO method, for example. The upper leather is firmly attached to the insole. Then the outsole is glued in place. Genuine welted boots are manufactured in line with the Goodyear welt method. This calls for at least a further 20 operations. The insole is pinned under the last. The upper leather shaft is pulled over the last. The outside and inside waists are pinned to the insole lip. A bark tanned leather welt is stitched firmly to the insole lip through the shaft. Then the steel shank piece is fitted under the insole. For shaping an individual bed, the space between the insole and the outsole is filled with a bottom filling of genuine granulated cork. The granulated cork takes 15 hours to dry. The 5mm thick leather outsole is then stitched firmly to the welt with more than 300 stitches. The shaft is now attached to the insole, the welt and the outsole in a join that is both stable and flexible. Finally, the heel is fitted. In the blocking department, wooden blocks cut to the shape of the customer's leg are inserted in the boots and widened to give them the required dimensions. Flame scarfing causes the leather to cling closely to the block. At a temperature of 60 degrees, in the drying chamber, the boots acquire the requisite stability. Final ironing inside and out for smooth elegance. A thorough cleaning and spraying for a gleaming finish. After approval by quality control, the end result. A perfect pair. Riders expect their boots to fit perfectly, right from the start. When taking the customer's measurements, it's important to remember three things. Firstly, for the best possible accuracy, the customer must always be measured up wearing socks and breeches. Secondly, note the time of day. Legs are slimmer in the mornings. In the evenings, they're often swollen. And thirdly, make sure the customer's weight is distributed evenly on both feet. 5 measurements are important for the feet alone. First, the outline of the foot in a standing position. Always use a thin pen or pencil and make sure it's upright. Second, the length of the foot. Take the biggest length within the outline and add half a size. Third, the size of the joint of the foot. Pull the tape measure around the broadest point on the inside and the broadest point on the outside. The tape measure will often slant slightly, since these points are seldom exactly opposite each other. Fourth, the instep. And fifth, the heel. All measurements must be taken carefully, and both feet must be measured, since left and right can easily differ. Make sure the tape measure isn't twisted or pulled too tight. For an ideal fit, the leg measurements are particularly important. Always measure the calf at its widest point. To be certain, take another measurement higher up and one lower down. The top measurement is taken just below the kneecap. It ensures that the boot will not gape later. The breeches must be pulled smooth and the tape placed snugly around the leg. As a rule, the top measurement is 2 centimeters less than the calf measurement. The length of the leg is measured from the floor to the middle of the kneecap, with the customer in a standing position. This is the final measurement. It takes account of subsequent dropping as creases form in the boot. If required, we also take dressage curves into consideration. For customers with standard foot and leg measurements, standard boots are also available. But not every boot fits right away. This boot is too wide. It wouldn't provide the necessary support, nor does it look elegant. This boot is too high. It goes over the kneecap, restricting the rider's freedom of movement, and it's uncomfortable. This boot is too short. When it starts to drop, it will no longer look elegant, nor will it provide the rider with sufficient support. This boot gapes too much at the top. But an elastic gusset or a short zip could be inserted to enable the customer to get her foot into the boot despite the narrow dimensions of the top. Thanks to Cavallo's comprehensive range of sizes, this customer has found a pair of standard boots that are a perfect fit. This boot fits snugly around the foot, is an ideal shape for the calf, and is just the right height. Supple and comfortable, the boots will also provide the rider with the necessary support. And if a customer can't find the right standard boots, we recommend a made-to-measure pair. Cavallo has the right boots for every rider. You're always aware that Cavallo quality fits.